So what is going on, guys? I'm BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another video on the channel where it looks like Treyarch have finally made some big changes to Vanguard Zombies. So far, if I'm not wrong in saying, the Zombies portion of Vanguard has received 2 updates from Treyarch, 2 major patches if you want to word it like that. The first one came on December the 6th. Now, I didn't cover it in a video because it really wasn't that much. There was a lot of multiplayer stuff, a couple of campaign fixes, but when it came to zombies, there were 4 main things: progression, the pack-a-punch, gameplay, and stability. Just taking a quick look at those ones. So for progression, they addressed an issue which prevented players from unlocking the Dark Ether Completionist camo. For the pack-a-punch, they fixed 2 things. They addressed an issue that prevented pack-a-punch shotguns with 10-round drums from reloading all 10 rounds in a single reload animation. They also addressed an issue that could incorrectly flag unupgraded weapons as pack-a-punch level 1. And then for gameplay, they fixed various exploits, including a lot of out-of-the-map ones. And for stability, there was an issue with the Frostblast artifact, which they fixed, as well as another stability issue, which related to multi-kills being obtained via equipment. So those changes happened about a week ago. Like I said, not really too big. Besides from a couple of fixes, nothing really major that's going to change the game or make it amazing. Things that, of course, do need fixing. Yes, but still not the main stuff we are asking for. And Treyarch have just done another update to Vanguard Zombies, where, as you will see, it looks like finally things might beginning to change and improve. But just before we continue on with today's video, I do want to say that it is sponsored by Voodoo. Voodoo is an official online digital distribution platform. All of the products that you see on their website come straight from the official sources, being directly from the publishers or developers or official distributors. And if you're wondering, well, how many products do they have exactly? Well, let's just start by saying they have over 4,000 plus games. As you can see right now on their website, they have a Christmas redesign going on. And to go along with this, they also have a ton of Christmas sales going on as well. Just scrolling down, there is a top sellers section, special deals, Sims 4 packs, loads of different categories, action games, RPG games, sports games. If you want to find a specific game, you can just go to the search bar at the top, type in whatever you want to find. So let's say GTA, search for it, and it will bring up all of the options that they have. So here there's a load of content relating to GTA, along with other games as well, and the best part is, these are all right now a part of the Christmas sale. Or if you want to find a game that you've never played but is popular, clicking the top sellers section, there are so many games here. Back 4 Blood's got 28% off. You can even search for a specific platform if you want to. You can choose Steam, Origin, Uplay, Epic Games, and many more. There are tons of options and categories. So all you've got to do is pick whatever video game you want. I'm going to get Far Cry 5, which at the moment has 15% off. Click it, add it to your basket, and that's it. But the best thing is, right now there is a cashback offer where if you use the code BOA for every purchase, there is a 7% cashback that goes towards your account and can be used on your next purchase. I think that, along with the Christmas sales right now, you've got yourself some great deals. So there we go, you can visit their website for yourself by clicking the link down in the description. And thank you to Voodoo for sponsoring today's video. Anyway, let's get right back to it. So back to what Treyarch tweeted out about the newest update. Tonight's Vanguard patch includes tuning plus bug fixes for Purge, multiple covenants, objective portals, weapons, challenges, UI, audio, stability, and more. If you do want to check this out for yourself, I will link it down in the description. Again, there is a ton of changes to multiplayer, 1 fix for the campaign, and surprisingly, quite a few fixes to the zombies mode as well. And actually, Treyarch have made some more changes that surprisingly, for some unknown reason, they haven't included on the patch notes. I'll get into what those changes are after I read these out, but in my opinion, those other changes they've made to Vanguard but haven't included on these patch notes are a lot more important to us than these. But let's just take a look at what they say first. So as for the objectives, they've made 3 changes to the Purge mode. If you've watched my previous couple of videos, you will know I've pointed out several times a couple of issues that I've had with the Purge mode, and one of those things Treyarch have fixed. So they said they've improved visibility in low light areas, making it more visually clear when capturing control rooms. That was a problem. When playing the Purge mode, I struggled to find where the rooms were, and that might still be the case because even though they've made the visibility better, another change I think they should have done is either added to the map or on screen where the rooms are located, because I failed several times just because I can't find them. They also said the progress bar no longer overlaps various notifications such as challenge completions, rank ups, weapon level ups, and more. This was the thing I pointed out, but it's been fixed now. How that was a problem in the first place, I don't know, because it's such a small thing. That to me is attention to detail, but it's fixed now. And also Professor Kraft will now acknowledge Purge objective completions. I guess that's a good thing, but also as with all of the other 3 objectives, after you've completed it once and you keep hearing the same voice over and over again, the same lines, it gets a little bit repetitive. Sometimes it just kind of winds me up a bit hearing Professor Kraft or any of the other elder gods say the same thing over and over again. But they've also made some big changes to the covenants. So as far as Brimstone goes, it no longer damages zombies when the player's downed, and it's also been adjusted to now only deal damage to zombies that are in the player's line of sight. Also, launchers now work intended with the Dead Accurate covenant, and for the Swift Vengeance one, they've updated its description so it reflects that only weapon damage is increased when it is being used. I guess people were getting confused, and also knives now work with it as intended as well. Treyarch have also made a few fixes to the weapons. They've addressed an issue where weapons obtained from crates briefly displayed the wrong model when dropping. They fixed an issue where some mystery box weapons would appear with their magazine detached from the weapon. That's a funny one I haven't seen myself. They've then addressed the issue that prevented players from loading into a match with their preferred custom reticle, and finally fixed the issue that incorrectly identified some launcher damages as critical hits. So nothing really major there, things I haven't experienced, but still, were bugs in the game. Next up, Treyarch have made 2 changes to the gameplay. So the first one is portals will now provide players with an opportunity to visit each destination before giving an option to return to the same location. All I'm going to say is thank God they fixed that. I was getting so fed up of going to the same map again and again right after I'd just been there. So if I'm not reading this wrong, you will actually go to each destination before you return to the same one. Thank God they fixed that. And finally for gameplay, they've closed various exploits that prevented players from taking damage from zombies. And then as we get to the bottom of this list, melee camo challenges have been adjusted to count kills, not eliminations, with the exception of the Stromkrieger challenges. I don't do challenges, so that doesn't affect me, but I know a lot of people do. As far as the UI goes, zone names have been added in places where they were absent from the map. The in-game scoreboard now shows the player in the correct rank, and they've addressed an issue with overlapping scoreboard UI. For audio, this one is important. Again, thank God they fixed this. They've addressed an issue in which operator and announcer voice communications would compete with each other. I can't even begin to count the amount of times I've heard operators and artifacts or Von List or Craft all talk over each other. And the final one, just skipping subtitles and text. For stability, they've addressed an issue that would sometimes kick a player to the main zombies menu when copying and replacing loadouts, along with various other stability fixes as well. So actually, a few big changes in here, some ones that were definitely needed. Like I said, the operator and announcer voice communications overlapping could be annoying. We now have the opportunity to visit each destination before having to return to the same one, so those early rounds should feel a little bit less repetitive. But the big question mark I have is, Treyarch actually made a significant change to Juggernog, or if you want to call it by its Vanguard name, Fiendish Fortitude, but Treyarch have increased the health of this perk by 100, which means in total, not including armor, you can now have 300 health. If you aren't aware of how Juggernog works in Vanguard, you have to purchase it a total of 4 times to get maximum health from it. Usually, before this update, it would give you an extra 100 HP, 25% HP every time you brought it. So of course you start off with 100 health, and then every time you brought Juggernog, you would get 25 health, and because you could purchase it a total of 4 times, you would end up with a maximum of 200 HP. But in this latest patch, Treyarch have changed this so you now get 50 HP every time you buy it, meaning instead of 200, the max you can now get is 300 HP. And like I said, that's not including armor. So this makes zombies, or it will make zombies, a lot easier. Because of how it works now, we don't have round based. It is more like Outbreak where the world goes harder. It means that as soon as you get past round, I would say 10, 12, it's subjective, depending on how good you are, but definitely by round 15 in Vanguard Zombies, this game takes a drastic turn and can get difficult, especially if you have to teleport to some of the areas in the game that are really tight. The buildings inside Stalingrad, on the higher rounds, they can get very overcrowded with zombies. So by the time you reached round 10 to 15, this game just became very, very difficult. So hopefully, now that they've added an extra 100 HP into the game, it will make it that little bit easier. And well, just as I was about to upload this video, Treyarch have finally told us what the other patches were they made that they didn't include on the original list. Let me just quickly go through them because these are game changing. There are 2 big adjustments to the armor. The armor plate drop rate is now being increased, so you'll be able to find more of them on the floor. And tier 2 and tier 3 armor durability and damage reduction has also been increased. That on top of a possible 300 health, we're now starting to get to the levels of Cold War. Another perk they made changes to is diabolical damage. Critical damage bonuses have been increased for all tiers, now capping out at 200% damage instead of 175. We can now do an extra 25% damage, which is great. And another massive one which really should help on the earlier rounds because, let's be honest, I'd say rounds 1, 2, 3 or 4 can be quite boring. Well, with this new update, fewer walker zombies now spawn in the early rounds. So that should at least make those early rounds a little bit more challenging and fun, so they're not as slow and boring. Anyway guys, there we go, that is it, that's all I have for you for today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, drop a like rating, let me know your thoughts about these changes in the comment section below. Do you think they are good? Personally, I do, but thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.